Hey guys, Pchild here, coming at you with the Season 22 Diablo T16 and Greater Rift speed build. This is possibly the fastest T16 and Greater Rift speed farm build in the game. It's ridiculous. There are some variations that are going to make it even faster for Season 22, but this build will work even for Season 23 and 24 and 25 until they nerf the Gears of Dreadlands DH set. This build is viable. I'm going to switch the format really quick. I'm going to throw a run up on the screen. This is a sub 1 minute T16 run. You guys can check it out, see how fast it is. Although, while we're going over the build, in the corner of the screen, I'll throw up just some random footage from either my streams or some recorded T16 runs to show you that I'm not fishing optimal wrist. Even on spaghetti cave levels and other things, you can get 1 minute and 30-second clears. Bad rifts are 2 minutes. Optimal perfect rifts are 30 to 40 seconds. It's pretty crazy, guys. If you guys like the build, you find this useful, you want to see more of this content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload. But without further ado, let's get in there and check it out. All right, guys, let's take a look at the gear we're using, and then we'll go over the skills afterwards. We're rocking the 6-piece Gears of Dreadlands set. So we're rocking the helmet, the shoulders, the gloves, the chest piece, and the boots. And then we're getting the 6-piece bonus by the Ring of Royal Grandeur. Also, for the other 2 cube slots, we have Avarice Band and Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. You can wear these in any combination as long as you have one of them in the cube slot. The Ring of Royal Grandeur usually rolls pretty horrible, so that's almost always the best option to cube, and then you can find decent rolls on the other 2 rings to put those on. The other 2 cube slots we have at Echoing Fury. Echoing Fury does a couple things that are kind of hidden. It's not really displayed on the weapon itself, but when your Echoing Fury is active, you gain 25% movement speed as well as the attack speed bonus. So slaying any enemy is going to send you into a 25% movement speed buff. We're going to be slaying lots of enemies. This is a permanent movement speed buff. It's insane. So Echoing Fury is huge. Trust me, use Echoing Fury over Dawn. And I know you're saying, Pchild, we need Dawn in the cube to get permanent uptime on Vengeance. That's why we have the Zodiac ring on, to keep permanent uptime on the Vengeance and still be able to use Echoing Fury. Trust me, use Echoing Fury. Gold wrap in the armor slot because infinite toughness. Who doesn't want to be able to ignore every mechanic in the game and just pick up loot and run through enemies? So throw that gold wrap in there with the Boon of the Hoarder and Avarice combo. It's going to give you infinite gold for those Greater Rift gem ups, and it's going to give you crazy pickup radius for picking up the globes after you kill elites, for picking up health globes, which we're going to see what that does for a little bit, but health globes help you as well. And then also just that infinite toughness. The other items we have on a Squirt's necklace. You're going to have infinite toughness with your gold wrap, so the Squirt's necklace is just free damage. It's phenomenal. And then Nemesis bracers to spawn the elites whenever you hit a pylon. Progression faster through the rifts. We're going to get lots of pylons because you're going to be moving through these rifts so fastly. Nemesis bracers are a must. For our legs, we're going to wear depth diggers. Depth diggers give us hungering arrow damage and just flat damage in general from our primary skills, because all of our damage comes from our primary skill. For your bow, you're going to use the Yang's recurve. And I know, again, you're going to say, but you don't have multi-shot equipped on your bars. We don't care about multi-shot. The big thing from the Yang's recurve is the resource cost reduction by 49%. That is ridiculously huge. So on a very nice Yang's recurve, what you want is resource cost reduction, cooldown, and damage. Those things are all phenomenal. The resource cost reduction is going to allow you to strafe indefinitely and never run out of resources. It's also resource cost reduction for your movement speed abilities, for your shadow glide and your vanish and other things like that, which we'll go over in a little bit. So Yang's recurve 100%. Don't get tempted to put anything else on. Use a Yang's. The 9th Kiri satchel is in our offhand. The main thing you want to do on this is the Hungering Arrow legendary bonus for this item is huge. You want to get a good roll on that. And then the stat priority would be Hungering Arrow damage, critical hit chance, area damage, dex, cooldown. All those things are pretty good. So it's going to be really hard to get a perfectly rolled offhand item for Demon Hunter. They basically can roll everything in the game. So this is going to be your most difficult item to get a good roll on. So settle for critical hit chance, Hungering Arrow damage, you know, cooldown, any of those things that'll help you out. As far as the skills go, we're going to run Hungering Arrow with Devouring Arrow. This is going to turn your damage into cold damage. And it's going to increase the damage for pierced arrows by 70%. Strafe with Drifting Shadow is going to give you movement speed. Smokescreen with Displacement is going to give you 100% movement speed. Preparation is going to give you Discipline back, which is going to let you cast Smokescreen indefinitely. Shadow Power with Shadow Glide, again, gives you movement speed. So Smokescreen and Shadow Glide are both using Discipline, which are both reduced because of your Yang's recurve discipline cost reduction. This is why we're using Yang's. So you're going to be able to spam these abilities more and give you even more movement speed. Preparation is going to give us Discipline back to get these back. And then you're going to have Vengeance with Seethe. Seethe gives you hatred generation. So you can just right click, spin to win, and strafe through the entire dungeon because you have Seethe giving you hatred back. You'll never have hatred issues. For your passives, Tactical Advantage is going to give you 60% movement speed whenever you vault, Shadow Power, Smokescreen, or backflip. So this is going to be more movement speed as you smash Shadow Power and Smokescreen on top of the runes they already have. Then you're going to have Ambush, which is going to do 40% to enemies above 75% health. You're pretty much going to one-shot everything in T16. So this 40% damage is going to let you just smoke the trash as you move through it at a fast pace. Blood Vengeance. This is where the pickup radius comes into play from the Avarice Band. Your hatred is increased by 25. In addition, you gain 30 hatred and 3 discipline when you're healed by a health globe. And since your pickup radius is going to be so big from that Avarice Band, you're going to pick up every health globe that drops on the map, which is going to give you hatred and give you discipline back, which is going to give you movement speed and allow you to strafe even more. And then Hot Pursuit, increase your movement speed by 20% for 4 seconds when you hit an enemy. You're always going to hit enemies. You're going to just be hauling. But this build is so flippin' fast, guys. It's ridiculous. As far as your gems, you want cooldown gem in the helmets. And you can use dex gems in your gear because you don't need the toughness. So we want raw damage. So dex, dex, dex all the way through. Legendary gems, Wreath of Lightning. This is the one gem that's interchangeable, especially early season if you're having damage issues. Wreath of Lightning gem gives you crazy movement speed and it's super awesome. But you could replace this with a Taeguk if you're not doing enough damage. Swap that out for a Taeguk. Your damage will go up. And then as you progress and get better gear and augments and things like that, you can switch back to Wreath of Lightning. Simplicity Strength is mandatory. You have to throw this in. This is just insane damage. And then a Boon of the Hoarder gem, max that out to 50 so you get a lot of gold and you can get your gold wrap belt working. You're going to be very squishy when your gold wrap isn't active. That's the way this set's designed because you have infinite toughness from your gold wrap. So initially when you first go into a rift, or if you switch levels or have a huge drought where you don't get to kill an enemy and get gold pickup, make sure that you just play a little bit more cautiously until you get that gold streak going again and have your infinite toughness up. For stat priorities, guys, I threw up a DiabloFans where you guys can check out the build and look at your stat priorities are all listed there. For example, helmet is dex, critical hit chance, and vit. Your shoulders are dex, area damage, cooldown reduction. So you can go pull up this DiabloFans. The link's in the description below where I have stat priorities for every piece of gear, as well as some written options for Season 22. Speaking of Season 22, when you get your 4th cube slot, you can throw in some more Zekian arm guards, and I'm going to throw those up on the screen so you can kind of see what they do. These are strength. I got these on my bar, but every time you destroy a wreckable object, you're going to gain a short burst of speed. These are going to give you even more movement speed on this already ridiculously fast build. However, there are other options that you can do with Season 22. This is probably going to be the option that I go mid to late season when my damage is just ridiculously high. Early season though, I might throw in a Dawn in the cube, and then once you have the Dawn in the cube, you could get permanent uptime on your Vengeance and not have to use the Zodiac ring. So you could put the Royal ring on in replace of the Zodiac, and then you could throw a Flavor of Time neck into the amulet slot. So there's a couple different variations you can do for Season 22. Warzekian arm guards are good. Throwing the Dawn in this extra slot is going to be good, and then that frees up a ring slot. So if your damage is really low, you can maybe throw in a Convention of Elements. There's a lot of different options. Ultimately though, mid to late season, I think the Warzekians are going to end up being the fastest and the best option, the best choice. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the build. I'm going to throw up just a couple random T16s. I didn't fish these rifts at all. I just went in and blew stuff up. Some of these runs are 2 minutes. Some of these runs are 1 minute. So I'm just going to throw up a random run that I think is the average rift. I'll make sure it's got spaghetti caves in it and some other non-top tier, S tier rift levels. So you can see that this build does perform regardless of what greater rift you get. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.